Hey everybody, my name is Forbes Riley, and I'm an American actress and a TV host. And I was delighted when I got my copy of Missing, which is Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People based on a real life relationship. It's well written. It's amazing. You know, it talks about a man who has lost his wife and his daughter, and it's very well done. I'm going to highly recommend that you go get your copy of Missing. It is a powerful, exciting read. Mr. Mian Moshe Zia. He is the author of Missing. And I want to give a big shout out and a kiss all the way halfway around the world to my dear friend. Check him out at Mia's website. It's called www.miamoshenzea.com. Missing, available on Amazon. Again, I'm Forbes Riley, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Sonic Web Studios specializes in custom web design, app development, social networking, search engine optimization, domain registration, email marketing, online stores, and more. Since our birth, we have been designing and developing immaculate websites and providing web solutions which are a cut above the rest. As a leading web designing enterprise, we have a team of extremely talented web designers who are well-focused and have the experience of working on multiple web developing platforms such as PHP, Magento, custom WordPress, and more. Sonic Web Studios has been helping businesses of all kinds, whether big, small, established, or startup, impress their audiences with exemplary web solutions. We don't just create beautiful and functional websites. We give you a complete online solution with the main goal of enhancing your yearly revenues. We aim to give your business the online exposure and brand acknowledgement that will help you in achieving increased conversions leading to profitable sales. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hi, this is Mia Mosensia, also known as Mia No Time for Love. Check out my latest book, Missing, Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People, based upon a real-life relationship, available in print and ebook formats on Amazon. Do read it. I'm sure you'll love it. It's www.miamosensia.com and www.amazon.com/Mia Mosensia.
It's now time for the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube, iTunes, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and the MikeWagnerShow.com. Mike brings you great guests and interesting people from all across the globe. So sit back, relax, and enjoy another great episode of the Mike Wagner Show.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call it today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, check out the latest novel by well-known award-winning author Mian Moshe Zia of No Time for Love, called Missing, an extraordinary relationship between two ordinary people based on real-life events that go through 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is an illusion and the ones you love be the first to go missing. Check out the book on Amazon and other retailers, available on all formats today. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com and heard on over 30 podcast platforms, including Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Apple, Amazon, Audible, and coming soon to Podbean, Buzzsprout, Pandora, and TuneIn, and heard worldwide on Geo7, Radio Public, Himalayan, and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel, and follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. We're here with a wonderful gentleman who was born in India, who is now in Houston, and he's been a Texas-based musician for quite some time, for nearly 30, 40 years, and he does a great job of fusing rock, jazz, pop, blues, and everything all together, and comes out as a non-violent platform we have, and we'll be playing one of his songs from his release Ghosts of War in just a minute. A really terrific musician, live, ladies and gentlemen, from the Plus Studios in beautiful Houston, Texas. Ladies and gentlemen, the very ultra-talented singer-songwriter, multi-talented, non-violence guy, Shri Baratan. Shri, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Hi, Mike. Pleasure to join you today. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great up here in the Plus Studios where I'm at. So I guess why I'm polar ends of the United States. So of course, 6 feet is possible with communication. It's like you be in Texas and I'm up further north as well. So you're born in India and you're now in Houston, Texas, and you've been a Texas-based musician for quite a number of decades. You fuse rock, jazz, pop, blues, and you've got an amazing release from an amazing album we'll be playing in just a minute. And before we get into all that, tell us how you first got started, Shri.
Yeah, Mike. All well here. I mean, been in Houston here for a while. Very excited to talk to you about my album and the unique compositions and instrumentation in the album with you.
Mm-hmm. And of course, you basically you merge global electric acoustic musical styles and challenging social and philosophical commentary. And first of all, I just want to get into part on how you first got started in the business, starting in India, working way toward Houston, and career-wise, just talk about your musical journey.
Sure. So it's an interesting story. So I started music very young in India, started writing music when I was in school. And when I completed my college, I had a band actually in India. We traveled all over India. The band was called Down Sterling. Traveled all over India, playing in India, was very popular there. But when I completed my college, my dad was like, "Hey, you got to do something with your life. There's not much of money here to be made in India playing music, especially rock music." Mm-hmm. So he actually encouraged me to move over to the United States. And in the 90s, I came over here to study. Completed my graduate studies here, but the whole songwriting thing continued in parallel. So I've been recording and putting music out there for the last few years, and continued performing here in a smaller scale in Houston now. But lived in Oklahoma City for a while before I moved here to Houston.
Oh, really? Tell us the story about moving to Oklahoma City. I've got some friends out there.
Oh, yeah. So it's actually my buddy, my band, Down Sterling. The drummer, a friend of mine, actually came to Los Angeles to do a drumming course, And then he was on a plane traveling to Texas to meet some of his relatives. And he had the vice president of Oklahoma City University sitting right next to him on the plane. And my drummer friend was actually looking up some universities to go do his MBA. And then the VP of OU, Oklahoma City University, gave him his card and said, "Hey, give me a shout, man. I mean, come to my university." And so he went there to do his MBA, and the next thing I get a call asking me, "Hey, why don't you come down here, man? U.S. is a happening place." Next thing I know, I'm in Oklahoma City, doing my MBA program there. Sorry, I'm in computer science.
Wow, yeah. I do have to say one thing. Houston is a huge hotspot when it comes not just music, but also for business, marketing, and yes, computers. That is a huge hotspot down there. And I got some friends down there, and sometimes I wish that is a huge hotspot. And how do you compare the music scene in Houston compared to Oklahoma City?
I think Houston is a lot better. You have a much bigger population of folks out here, much more diverse, So So, and my music tends to be a little more universal music. So I think the appeal is much better here. But that's not to say Oklahoma was not good, right? I mean, had some incredible performances there with folks out there, incredible musicians out there in Oklahoma as well.
Mm-hmm. And what was that one precise moment that influenced you into what you're doing today?
So I've been writing music for a while, and some of my influences, right? I mean, I come back to the old sweet rock from Led Zeppelin to Pink Floyd to Queen and Genesis and U2 and all of those groups.
Classic rock, I see. Amazing.
Yeah. And also a lot of jazz influences with John McLaughlin, Weather Report, Chick Corea, and so on. And of course, a lot of folk influences from Bob Dylan and Janis Joplin, and then the gurus, Jimi Hendrix, and so on, right? So those things got me into writing songs. And then I do have this other influence of the Indian classical music of Hindustani and Carnatic and things like that. So I ended up with a style of kind of like a, rock music with the Eastern accent, right? Mm-hmm. So I do a lot of acoustic work. A lot of powerful singing work with a little bit of tinge of the Eastern style. Mm-hmm. And so just, I mean, and a songwriter likes to tell stories, right? So a lot of, I deal with more philosophical type of stuff, more social issues and things like that I write about. Mm-hmm. So spend a lot of time just thinking things out and writing important concepts. So my music is very educational. And also the other aspect of the whole nonviolence and my music is that every song that I write, I'm also a painter and an artist.
Oh, wow, amazing.
Yeah, so every song I write, I try to do a painting for the song, right? So there's always a visual that goes along with the song to kind of tell the story of the song. And so the whole nonviolence concept is, you have the music side of it, plus you have an artwork that comes with the music, plus the lyrics is very poetic as well, right? So the integration of the music and the art and the poetry.
You talked about your songs being philosophical and having some social commentary along with addressing social issues. And who are some of your favorite philosophers growing up, and what type of philosophy did you study, and what did you more focus on?
Yeah, it's a lot of. So the philosophy, it goes back to, a lot of it is religious influences also, right? I mean, not like fanatic religious type influences, but more like, Buddhism, Confucianism, a lot of poetry, William Wordsworth and those influences as well. Philosophy just came along with the whole thing, right? I mean, you go through things like, take, for example, the whole universe and create, whether it's evolution or whether it's, creationism and those type of concepts, but never really being fanatic about it, being completely open-minded as to, hey, here is it. So you always, at the end of it, you always ask the open question, right? What is it? Could it be this or that? So, but that's what it is mostly about.
And of course, you also write about social issues as well, too, in most of your songs. What are the social issues that you address in your music?
So in this album specifically, there's a song called Tree, right? And the whole thing about the tree is, the very the very philosophy about nature itself being unbiased and impartial, right? So what I mean by that is if you look at the tree, right, it is unbiased and unjudgmental on its own, right? So the tree is there, whether you are, whoever you are, no matter who you are, she gives you shade, she gives you cool breeze, she gives you her fruits, everything, right? That without judging who you are, right? So nature in itself is impartial. Intent is pure, uncontaminated, as perfectly exemplified by the tree. Now, the wood chopper, right, who goes to the tree to chop the tree, also, basks in the shade of the tree on a warm, hot summer day while he hacks and chops the tree down, right? Mm-hmm. But regardless of that, the tree is still, just unaffected, consequence-free, and still does her duty, right? So the question at the end of the day is, can we humans be like the tree and do our duty unconditionally,
Or maybe you could have asked George Washington that question when he chopped down the cherry tree when he was asked that. Maybe going to ask him that one day.
Yeah. Yeah.
And of course, we're going to talk more about music with Shri Baratan, best known as Nonviolence. We'll talk about his upcoming single and album in just a minute. But first, listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, check out the latest novel by well-known award-winning author Mia Motion Z of No Time for Love called Missing, an extraordinary relationship between two ordinary people based on real-life events that go through 4 countries, 2 strangers, and 1 target, where truth is an illusion and the ones you love will be the first to go missing. Check out the book on Amazon and other retailers, available on all formats today. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on themikewagnershow.com and on over 30 podcast platforms, including Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Apple, Amazon, Audible, and coming soon to Podbean, Buzzsprout, Pandora, and TuneIn. Also heard worldwide on Geo 7, mostly in India and the Middle East. Also Radio Public and Himalaya and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel and follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. We're here with the multi-talented singer, songwriter, multi-talented musician, Nonviolence, best known as Shri Baratan here on the Mike Wagner Show. Or if you want to think about it, you could also reverse too. And before we get to your latest release, Ghosts of War, featuring Electron, will play in just a few moments. We're on SoundCloud right now, and you got some tracks as well, too, like Obama, Thanks for Coming, Stop Talking Duo, I Welcome the Wounded, Return of the Queen, Girl in Rags, and more, India and Grey. And maybe you can just talk about some of the songs as well.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, so the Obama, Thanks for Coming, just a quick note on that. That was, I was inspired by the whole civil rights trilogy and the civil rights fight, that revolution that America went through and came out successfully, right? An example for the world to follow. That really began with Abraham Lincoln, right? With the Emancipation Proclamation, and then Martin Luther King following up and setting his vision for America, and then finally Obama coming and following that vision, right? That's what that song was about.
And of course, the pressure's on President Biden. The pressure's on. So,
yeah, I know. I mean, the song is really not political. It's more just on the impressive civil rights evolution that took place in America. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And of course, let's continue on with more songs as well too. And of course, many of you know that President Biden is Obama's vice president. So that's why I made that reference that the pressure's on. So
right. And then the other one interesting song is called "I Welcome the Wounded." Which really, and has an incredible artwork that goes with it as well. That song is about people that go through a difficult phase in their childhood, and as they grow up, they are not able to get over it, right? So the mind kind of, takes you back. Always your memories take you back to those difficult childhood times, right? If you went through some of those tough times of being a child in a very poor family or an abused family and so on, so that song is all about how do you now break out of that and forget those old memories of the past, and come out of that. So a very interesting song as well.
Mm-hmm. And also, lastly, as well, too, we find an intriguing song like Return of the Queen, Girl in Rags, India, and also Gray. Maybe you can just pick one and tell us more about that.
Sure. Very happy to do that. So the song, let me pick a song called Matrix, right? So there's a song called Matrix on the track. And what that's about, today we live in a super complex matrix, right? Essentially what human beings have done is we've divided ourselves and put ourselves in all of these boxes, right? We exist in this world as people of a nation, religion, even religion. We've divided religion into so many different religions: Hinduism, Christianity, Islam, Judaism, name it, right? Mm-hmm. And then we have all kinds of, even if you take people, you take the health system, right? When we are born today, we classify ourselves as, hey, this guy is normal. These folks have ADD. Yeah. So all what we do is continuous process of division is what we go through, right?
If that's the case, many of us are in trouble, including myself.
Yeah, I know. So this song is about how humans, we live in a matrix, right? And we box ourselves. So the folks that, it's almost like the rich people live in one box. People, if you look at the religion, and it's a dimensional matrix, right? So if you look at religion, Christians live in one box, Hindus live in another box, and to go across these boxes become difficult, right? So if you're born in a poor family and if you're underprivileged, how do you get out of that box and make it to the box, the rich box, right? Mm-hmm. So that's what this whole song is about. It talks about, and even then, in each box, you have a pyramid structure, right? Mm-hmm. You got a guy sitting on the top, and now you got to navigate the ladder of the pyramid to get to the top, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
So this whole world, and it's all controlled by very few people sitting on the top of the pyramid, Mm-hmm. So that's what this song is about. It takes someone through that journey of how people that are stuck, below the ladder, and they are struggling to come up there. And what is it that takes us? But the whole point of the song is, psychologically, we also put ourselves in boxes, right? Mm-hmm. And psychologically in the matrix, you are only where you think you are, mm-hmm. So you might think you're in a box, and because you think so, you're in that box, right? So
right, yeah.
The song is to break yourself out of that thought process and go across, mm-hmm. To move into any different box or anywhere in the pyramid.
Mm-hmm. And that's where the term thinking outside the box comes from.
There you go. Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. Exactly right.
And of course, you mentioned The Matrix as well, too. It makes me think of that movie, and I think I have to see it over and over again when I think about The Matrix.
Right. Yeah.
And where can we find your music at?
Say again, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, we're breaking up here, but where can we find your music at, Shri?
Where can you? Yeah. You can find. So my music is everywhere. You can go to Spotify. You can check it out on Amazon, Apple Music. So it's everywhere, right? So. You can listen to it. It's on YouTube. I have several videos on YouTube. Now, the interesting thing about my videos are the paintings and the artwork are also featured as part of the video. So
okay.
If you watch the video, you can also see the paintings and the artwork too.
Okay, that sounds great. We'll check that out, and we're going to play one of his singles from Ghosts of War called Electron in just a minute. But first, listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs at below the competition way. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960, or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, check out the latest novel by well-known award-winning author Mia Motion Z of No Time for Love called Missing, an extraordinary relationship between two ordinary people based on real-life events that go through 4 countries, 2 strangers, and 1 target, where truth is an illusion and the ones you love will be the first to go missing. Check out the book on Amazon and other retailers, available on all formats today. Also, The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on themikewagnershow.com and on over 30 podcast platforms, including Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Apple, Amazon, Audible, and coming soon to Podbean, Buzzsprout, Pandora, TuneIn, and more. Take The Mike Wagner Show on any mobile device. Subscribe to The Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel, and follow The Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. We're here a singer, songwriter, multi-talented artist, poet, painter, and more. Shri Baratan, best known as Nonviolence here on The Mike Wagner Show, born in India, went through Oklahoma City, now in Houston, and right now he's got a brand new release out from Ghosts of War. Here's Electron from Nonviolence, Shri Baratan, here on The Mike Wagner Show.
Illusion from truth, the diversion from the grass to the stars, dancing molecules from the molecule. The atomic frontier, vibrations from here, a role that appears, and from the atom cease not to battle, matching the phantom matter's foundation. Celestial dance of the electron round the proton, beyond the neutron, walks around. Only perceptions go round and round, round and round, round and round. The one philosophy of victory, another defeat. A graduate from the spiritual school, to the world a crazy fool. creation still marks its basic character. Follow the air with the attribute of moment, conception of sound from the dance of the electron. Fire came from the friction of motion, water with the opposite characteristic. To count the constitution of the liquid originated land. All these perceptions go round and round, round and round, round and round. Higher and higher goes the density, decreasing electronic frequency. Subaccents the molecules of stone, slower than those of the water. Photons of fire travel quicker through the atmosphere, moving much faster than the air. Ether, radiation, electronic vibration, materialization, children of the frequency of movement, ether, air, and fire, water, and the earth, fundamental element, evolution of the skeleton and the skin, senses and the mind, ego and the intellect from their unknown perceptions of the space, speculation, religion and philosophy.
Great song by Shri Baratan, best known as Nonviolence from Ghosts of War. That was Electron here on the Mike Wagner Show. Tell us more about that great song and what inspired you to write it.
Sure, Mike. So Electron is all about, everything in the cosmos that we live in, from the planets to the stars, vanish in a million years, right? I mean, nothing is permanent, right? And human beings come and go in a flash. Planets live a little longer, but at the end of the day, everything vanishes, right? They're all distant facts in the continuum of time. So the question really here is, if everything in the cosmos is temporary, right, and changing, what is it that's permanent? Right?
Exactly.
But what is permanent, right? I mean, like you look at today, I say, hey, I'm Shri, right? I mean, but tomorrow, after I'm in my grave, Shri is not there anymore, right? So what is the permanent truth? That's the question. So this song deals with the electron that basically is the force of creation that fabricates everything, right? The electron and the way it moves, the frequencies at which it vibrates, creates this whole drama. So if it's moving faster than the speed of light, it's basically materializes air, right? And if it slows down from there, the vibration slows down, it becomes fire. It slows down further, it becomes water. It slows down, the vibration slows down further, and it becomes all of this gross matter, right?
Wow, that was amazing, and I never thought about that. And here we are learning a very valuable science lesson from Shri Baratan here on the Mike Wagner Show. I think someday you ought to be a great science and philosophy teacher. It's like, I'm learning a lot from you today.
Oh, thank you. It's just fun stuff, But that's the whole. This song just talks about that. It's called The Dance of the Electron. Of course, the name of the song is Electron, but really the dance of the electron is what spawns all of this creation, right? So really the question becomes, what is it that makes the electron dance, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the question, right? I mean, some people say it's creation, it's the creator, and some people say, no, it's evolution, and it's an accident. But that's, I guess we won't know till... or maybe we'll never know even after we go.
Mm-hmm. Or you can choose by going rock, scissors, paper. Take your pick. So
there you go.
And of course, it's Electrons is off of Ghosts of War. And tell us more about the album and maybe a few of the songs right here on the Mike Wagner Show.
Sure. So the album is a conglomeration of about 9 songs. It's basically the compositions are contemporary but still unconventional. The instrumentation style, it's mostly acoustic guitar work. It's an acoustic album with a lot of electric guitar accents, a lot of harmonics and different sounds that you'll hear that's part of the album. But there are 9 songs. I mean, it begins with the Queen. Now the Queen is really it's actually a symbol of the mind. So the Queen is a song about the human mind,
mm-hmm.
and it just talks about how the human mind kind of seeks pleasure, prosperity, and power in today's world, and all of our education system and everything is teaches the mind to go out there and seek power and pleasure and prosperity and money and materialism, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what that song. It's about the mind, right? And then we talked about the tree and the beauty of nature and the consistency and unbiased and unconditional duty that nature performs, right? And then it moves into the Ghosts of War, which is a song about atheism, right? Many of my best friends were atheists, and we always had a lot of arguments around, hey, there's so much of killing that happens in the name of religion. There's, how can there be God when, there's all this negativity and greed and hate that comes out of religion. So that's what that song is about. It just talks about the religion. It's really a question mark on, at the end of the day, what is religion, right? Is there a difference between spirituality and a difference between religion? And then, is there a difference between fanatics as well as agnostics, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's just a question mark on that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, and then the next song was Matrix, which talks, I think we talked about it.
Yeah, we already talked about that too.
Yeah, and then Electron we talked about. Then there's an interesting song there about Van Gogh, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Van Gogh, as you know, one of the greatest artists that walked the face of the earth, right?
Uh-huh.
So that song talks about, there's a concept, there's people who can get into their art form, right, and live in the art form, like Van Gogh. They are folks that don't care about the materialism or what comes from the work they do, right? They live in their work, they do their work, and before you know it, they're gone, right? So, and they leave that legacy for the generations to come.
Mm-hmm.
So people like these, there's a word in India called yogi, right? So You probably heard the word yoga, right?
Correct, yeah. And of course, I've heard of yogi as in Yogi Berra too. So, like the manager. So,
The yogis are folks that are able to do that, right? They work for the sake of work, right? And they paint for the sake of painting, and they play music for the sake of playing music and for nothing else, right? So the art form becomes their jealous mistress, and they're just hooked to that, right? I mean, without any desire for the fruits of their creations, you know. So that's what that's about, right? It just talks about that. And then there's a couple of songs there towards the end. I did lose both my mom and my dad in 2017 and 18.
I'm so sorry.
6 months back to back. You know? So I did write a song for my mother. The song is called Purity. And there's a song out there for my dad that's called The Last Thought, which the question mark is, what was the last thought that went through his mind, right, when he left? So that's an interesting song. It's an interesting philosophy. There's a lot of material on what should be your last thought when you leave.
Right, exactly.
So that's a whole philosophy in itself, that song. And then there's also the one song there called Mirror. And the song Mirror is very interesting. That's also a philosophy. Basically, it says that, everything you see out there in the cosmos is basically your own perception, right? That you are projecting what you see. Now, if you're a happy person, then you'll attract the happy. If you're a sad person, you attract the sorry people to you. And if you fear something, your fear always comes back to you, right? So that's what that song is all about. It's called The Middle.
And a good portion is common sense as well, too. Totally relate. And where can we find Electron and Ghost of War at?
Yeah. You can see it's on all of the musical outlets, Spotify, SoundCloud, Apple Music, and on YouTube as well. So on YouTube, I have 4 songs: Ghosts of War. I've got Electron there. Matrix is out there, as well as Mirror.
Okay. All right. That's fantastic. And once again, we're here with nonviolent Shri Baratan here on the Mike Wagner Show. Born in India, now in Houston. Very big thank you for your time. You've been great. And before we wrap up here, and tell us what can we expect from you in 2021 and beyond, Shri?
Oh, yeah. That's a very good question, Mike. So I've started on my next album, right? I've started working on it. This album's going to feature the seasons of the world. I mean, that's the 4 seasons that we have, right? Summer and winter and fall and spring. So I've got songs and it's again in a philosophical, put in a very philosophical way. So that's what I'm working on right now. The album started. I'm expecting to complete it sometime in 21. Hopefully for a release in 21. If not, it'll be early 22 when it comes out.
Sounds great. We're looking forward to that as well, too, Shri. And who do you consider biggest influence in your career?
Yeah, so I would say my biggest influence is Pink Floyd for sure. Right? I mean, that's one of the most incredible bands. Also, Led Zeppelin, Jethro Tull, Yes. So many other influences, right? All the way from Police to Sting, Dire Straits, Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, Bob Dylan. And then a whole lot of jazz influences: John McLaughlin, Weatherford, Charlie Bird Parker, Jaco Pastorius, Chick Corea. I mean, a whole lot of other jazz influences as well.
And many of my favorites as well, too, in a classic rock genre. And what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
Say once again, Mike.
Okay, I'm sorry. What's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
I would say never give up, right? I would say, the dreams that you have, never give up, right? Hold on to those dreams, work towards them, and as long as you hold on to them, they will come true.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So that's my best advice. I would say go for it. Get it done. You live once. Enjoy it. Get it done. Make something of your life.
And definitely will, too. Once again, here with nonviolent Shri Baratan here on the Mike Wagner Show. Shri, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic. Looking forward to having you again soon. Do us a favor. Keep us up to date. We'll have you back on in 2021 and beyond. Make sure you stay in touch and tell us once again your upcoming projects. What's your website? How do people contact you? Where can people purchase or listen to your music?
Thank you so much, Mike. Very happy Christmas, happy holidays, happy New Year. Enjoy the 2021. Let's get over with 2020 as soon as possible.
And of course, don't forget to tell people what's your website and how do people contact you and where can people purchase your music. I mean, that is very important, right?
Yeah. And everybody go to www.nonviolence.com to reach out, to get in touch with me. My music is all over the place: Spotify, SoundCloud, Apple Music, and YouTube as well. Feel free to reach out. Happy to hear from anybody who wants to talk to me. Shoot me a note and we can get in touch.
That sounds great. Once again, Shri, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely great. Looking forward to having you again soon. Do us a favor. Keep us up to date. Love you back on in 2021 and beyond. And don't forget to keep in touch and let's let out the electrons.
Thank you so much, Mike.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Sonic Web Studios specializes in custom web design, app development, social networking, search engine optimization, domain registration, email marketing, online stores, and more. Since our birth, we have been designing and developing immaculate websites and providing web solutions which are a cut above the rest. As a leading web designing enterprise, we have a team of extremely talented web designers who are well-focused and have the experience of working on multiple web developing platforms such as PHP, Magento, custom WordPress, and more. Sonic Web Studios has been helping businesses of all kinds, whether big, small, established, or startup, impress their audiences with exemplary web solutions. We don't just create beautiful and functional websites. We give you a complete online solution with the main goal of enhancing your yearly revenues. We aim to give your business the online exposure and brand acknowledgement that will help you in achieving increased conversions leading to profitable sales. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hi, this is Mia Mosinzia, also known as Mia No Time for Love. Check out my latest book, Missing: Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People based upon a real-life relationship, available in print and ebook formats on Amazon. Do read it. I'm sure you'll love it. It's www.miamosinzia.com and www.amazon.com/miamosinzia.
Thanks for listening to The Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, YouTube, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and themikewagnershow.com. Please support our program with your donations at themikewagnershow.com. Join us again next time for another great episode of The Mike Wagner Show.